Hello everybody and welcome back to GreenRiver. So thank you so much for the kind comments about the yarn which I produced in the previous episode. Yeah, it was an enjoyable experience putting all this together, and I think the angle I placed this at did annoy a few people, but it definitely looks worse from above when you're actually placing it than in real life. You wouldn't actually know that was set at an angle. Well, not really anyway. So yeah, later on in this video we're going to make sure that we put all the big stuff into here, the combine harvester, the header, everything which doesn't really fit into the other yard can go into here, possibly even the transport trailer as well. In fact, I didn't even realise it was so easy to access this yard from there. I guess actually it isn't, due to the barbed wire. Ow, ow, ow. Very sharp. Anyway, yeah, today we're going to be doing something slightly different. You may recall a few episodes back I did actually mention field number 9, and it is a very big field. This is a field which I've wanted to buy for a long time, mainly because it looks so interesting in the way that we can actually do some really good worker jobs here, where we actually have the worker doing quite a bit of stuff, due to the fact that it is just so long and fairly narrow as well. So we could have multiple combine harvesters working on here, and it should actually be dead easy for everybody. For me, because I won't have to contend with the workers crashing into everybody, or each other, and for the workers as well, because of course they can just go straight down the field and then come back straight back up again. Dead easy work instead of going around different corners and all that kind of stuff. Although yeah, the AI extension mod definitely improves this. So let's buy this field first of all. There it is, that is it in person, and you can see the far side, but obviously it's a very long way down there. I think it's going to be a very interesting project. This is definitely something to do, but I'm not going to do a great deal with it today because I actually don't know what to do with it. It sounds ridiculous, but I really want you to choose the best crop or the best thing to do in here. I'm trying to avoid potatoes and sugar beets, although it would be fun. We'd have to have probably 10 harvesters at least to get it to work effectively and quickly, because it's such a slow job. So if we can stick with either a cereal crop or something new, maybe a different mod, then I'll be very happy to do that. So just post your opinions down below. I might even do a vote on it in the future, possibly on the community page, possibly even in the video, not too sure. But yeah, just post your suggestions down below and we'll definitely act on some of them. Anyway, to kick things off, we're going to go into the Deutz Fahr first of all, because we've got a few bits of sugar beet to move. It's very important that we do this. When we've actually moved the first piece, we can actually come back and we can get the pig food. The pig food is probably not that full at the moment, there probably isn't that much produced, but if I put the time to times 15, this should be a great deal more very soon. Well, hopefully by the time we've moved the first load. I don't actually know how much sugar beet there is left, but I don't think there's a great deal. The Joskin trailer again isn't massive, but it's got a fairly good capacity, so we should be able to move 20,000 tonnes, would it be? No, 20,000 litres. Wow, 20,000 tonnes. That would be exploding axles and popping tyres. Actually, no, wait. 20,000 tonnes in a trailer? It would be a pancake. That is a serious amount of weight. Anyway, we have the roper machine just here. Let's just load it up. There we go. Let's just jump into it. The roper mouse 5. And I don't think there is much there. It can be deceptive, but it looks like there isn't a great deal here. Just really quickly load it up. Rapid loading. It is going to be more than one trailer, that's for sure. Try and put some further forwards in the trailer. There we go. Get a bit more on. Right. So I think, looking at the glance mod, we're almost there. 97%. And we're done. Okay, so probably just the one more trailer would actually sort that out, but that'll be later. Is it 20,000 litres? 23,000 litres. Not bad. I do like this trailer a lot as well. I think it is a very handy trailer for this exact job. It also looks the part as well. Oh, I'm actually heading this way just out of habit. I don't know if this is the best way to go for sugar beets. 264 we've got over at Drewton, so yes it is. It is the best way to go. Yeah, just making sure that was actually the one for sugar beet. I've done it in the past where I've actually looked at there and then not realising I have been looking at the incorrect crop type, which is just embarrassing. I think we can also give the pigs sugar beet. I think they can. Yeah, they can. So when we've done the pig food mixture, we'll come back, we'll get another load of sugar beet and give the pigs the sugar beet. The first load I'd really like to sell, because we don't need too much, as we will be doing another harvest in the future. I don't really like to store too much stuff, but we do need to store enough to keep us going. So yeah, Drewton's is around the corner here, as usual. It does seem to be the best place. It's always very high up on the list of prices. The palletizer is still going. It's just working away in the background. Every now and then we'll have to go back there to move the pallets out of the way, but overall this episode is going to be fairly free of that job, which is a bad thing in a way, because I really do like it. It's just, this is the problem. Whenever I like a mod too much or an add-on too much, I go for it in every episode and then there's no diversity. So I've got to be careful. But yes, I do want to definitely head back to that mod again very soon. And in fact there is a function on the pelletizer which I haven't done for a while, and it's where you load a bale straight onto it. Then you can actually turn it into pellets in the pellet hole, and then you can put the pellets straight into the processor and get them packed up straight away, which is quite a good way of using your bales. Okay, so that was only £6,000, not that good. I think it is probably best as feed, so everything we have left can be feed for these pigs, because the pigs desperately require a decent amount of food as they are reproducing so rapidly. We have 90% productivity on them, which is actually really good, and there's 174 and we bought 150, so already it's just ridiculous. We've already produced 24. Absolutely crazy. So here we are. This is the pig yard. Let's just see how we're doing. How much do we have? 7,666 litres, so it's a start. It's not a great deal. I can get more very quickly by increasing the rate of time, but that isn't always advisable if you've got other things happening in the game. Because, well, for example, if you had seasons, your crops are going to die, most likely, because you're never going to be able to harvest them or fertilise them, and if they don't die, they'll just be really unproductive. I think this series is okay to go really fast with the time, but I don't like to go too fast, just in case. We can get away with times 30. We have more whole grain here, plenty of whole grain, but we do need to have some more potatoes, and the level of water is just there, so that's not bad. Still quite a long way to go, but yeah, it's looking very good. The pigs look to have a lot, but if you look at this over here, there isn't that much, but it isn't terrible, that's for sure. We've just reproduced another pig. There is a new one every 54 minutes. Wow. They are busy. I suppose there's not much else for them to do. Oh no, 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 no. Just thought there. Yep. Last time I did that, it pushed the trailer out of the way. That was super close. Right, better get back into the tractor. Try and put some more at the back. Try and put some at the front as well. I think we're almost there. Don't think there's much left to go. Obviously there is still space for it to keep producing its supply, but yeah, that is pretty much it done. It's dropping below 1,000, keeps jumping up due to the time. So I'll put it back to times 15. And yeah, that's going to pretty much deplete the supply. So that's going to have to be filled up again in a future episode. Shouldn't take us too long to do. I'll just pull it out of the way. And we'll open the gate. And I'm hoping there is actually space here to reverse straight into the trough, or up to the trough. We don't really want to go into the trough, as that would likely cause damage. I'll pull forward and then we can reverse from here. The pigs are actually really busy over here anyway. But here you go, 13,211 litres. I hope you enjoy it, pigs. It's pretty much tipping it straight on a pig. Doesn't seem to mind. Showered in food. Mmm. Right, now they're all going to go rushing to the trough. How's it looking? It still doesn't look very impressive, but actually if you look at the figures, they are fairly high figures. As soon as we bring the potatoes and sugar beet into here, this one will be to the max, and actually looking at that gauge, with only having 1500 litres, it isn't going to take that much. It doesn't seem to take much root crop at all. So we can either keep the rest of it in the trailer, or only pick up what we need, which is probably the more sensible idea. So before we go, I need to shut this gate, otherwise the pigs might venture out. I wish they did actually, because then it really would make you do it. It would make you shut the gates, because at the moment I do sometimes forget, because it isn't that important. But if you could actually lose your pigs or your cows or your sheep, then yeah, it would definitely make you think more, definitely make you look after them better. Having said that, if you just keep forgetting for whatever reason, it could become highly frustrating. But it is a good way of learning, I suppose. Yeah, I've decided to only fill up what we actually need, so if I was to do a rough guess here, I should be able to figure out roughly what we need. It isn't going to be a great deal. So if we just take a look, that is 1500. It's just over a quarter, I would say. Just over a quarter. So if we were to go by that, we're looking at 6, 4... Let me do a calculation. Yeah, I think we should be looking to go towards around 4,500 litres, roughly. So if I just load that up, then we can get that done. It is going to be quite hard to control on here though, because I don't actually know the percentage, which is a bit of an issue. I suppose I could always tip some back. Actually, that's probably about right. 4,800 litres. So not the most impressive loading ever, but I'm hoping that that is actually going to work quite well. And once I've done this, we're going to go back to the yard, we're going to move the really big equipment and put it into the yard which we created in the previous episode. I really do think that that yard was worth doing, because we do actually have a lot of storage space already, which is very nice. One of the reasons why I do like this map so much. But because I've taken it to a whole new level and used equipment which you probably wouldn't even see in this area in real life, yeah, I'm having to just create a new area for the big stuff. For example, the cultivator, that is huge, the drill is huge, and the combine harvester, that's pretty big too. Now I will be very interested to see if my calculations here are correct. It was only a rough guess, but I would say that this is going to be pretty much what they need to fulfill their root crop requirement. So it should go green. It should do. But it's never been my strongest point, mathematics, so we'll see. We'll tip it all out. Okay, so yeah, I went too high. Oh, mainly because my calculation was incorrect. So it was actually more than a quarter, more like a third that we had there. Because it would have come to roughly 6,000 litres if it was a quarter. But that's alright. At least we've got some more in the trailer for the next time, which won't be too long. And it's only just less than 1,500 litres we have here. So we should be able to empty it in no time at all. But at least they now have a decent supply of food. After all, that is what they wanted. These pigs, they just want lots of food, lots of very good food, and a variety of it. What happy things they are. They just don't have any straw, but that is mainly because we haven't done a wheat or a barley harvest yet. Anyway, let's go and see what we can do over here. Oh yeah, and Manitou. Yep, there is a bit of a queue here, so I'll just get this done very quickly, and then we can go and sell them. I've always wondered, as this isn't my realistic series, if it is possible to actually pick up 2 of these pallets at the same time. They are close enough, just about. Well, yeah, I say just about. it really is just about. But yeah, there we go. Whoa, they're heavy. And it doesn't like it, but it is possible. You can tell that's heavy. I would assume 2.6 tons. It's almost lifting up at the back. It's just very light on the back axle. Anyway, the trailer is full. It's not going to take any more. So we're just going to have to put these here. If I can do. As carefully as possible. There we go. And yeah, I'll just move out of the way. Should probably check up on the JCB as well. And then we can go over to the sell point. I should think the JCB is empty. Yeah, production has stopped anyway, so it didn't... Oh no, there is a tiny bit left. But yes, it didn't really matter that there was the blockage of all the pallets. In fact, I think this is going to pretty much conclude the hay pallets anyway. Because we've done so much, and obviously we've been very dedicated to the job, so we've got through it really quickly. I think with something like this, you really do have to keep coming back to it. You can't just leave it. You've got to make sure that it's always emptied and filled. Right, so that is that, and then, yeah, judging by what I can see in the storage facility, it's going to be just whatever fits into this bucket, and then we're done. Yep, 2,000 litres. And that means that an entire trailer load, articulated trailer, off an articulated lorry, a trailer off an articulated lorry, we have wrapped up into pallets. We've turned them into these delightful, usable, user-friendly bags of pellets. Nice. Right, okay, so what we're going to do is go over to the sell point. We should be able to get a fairly decent sum for this. I don't know what the price will be, but we'll wait and see. I look forward to finding out. Oh, did I put a road in from the track up here? I didn't, did I? No, I should have put a track running alongside here to the gateway. I can do that in a minute or two if I remember. But first, we must do this. They will likely have to be unloaded to the centre, so if I press Y, yeah, we'll just make sure they stay on there. But that should do nicely if I can reverse straight. Okay, so a bit of an explosion at the end there, but that is pretty much all of them. 3 left to go. Just give them a quick nudge. There we go. 2,970 each, roughly. Obviously that price is going to fluctuate. And we have 2 more. We've got 21,540 for the bulk load of it. And 5,913 for that. That is very, very good. It's definitely worth doing. The only problem with it is the price of the pallet haul in the first place is something like £400,000, which is not unreasonable, because if you think about it, you've got the building itself to put up, and then all of the really expensive packing machines inside, and the gantry crane and everything. So it is going to be something like that in real life, I'd have thought, maybe even more. But to be able to afford it in a realistic series is definitely possible, but it might take a while to get to it. But I absolutely love the add-on. And I still get quite a few people asking me, where'd you get it from? And it's PC only, I believe, but there is a link down below, so if you are looking to get it, then the link is there, and at the time of recording it is 5% off. Okay, so there we go, we'll just park up, and I really would like to just do this track before I forget, and then we can move some bigger equipment about and finish off by moving all the leftover pallets. So we've got quite a few things to do, but overall we are nearing the end of this section of the Let's Play. Obviously what I mean by that is we're finishing the pelleting for the time being, we're not finishing the Let's Play. Right, this actually can be the first machine to go into the storage area, because it is still fairly big. The tractor doesn't necessarily have to stay with it, but it can do. if it wants to. I'll put it here. It's just right, really. It's so nice to have the bigger areas. Oh, is that... it's set to concrete. Yeah, good. So I'll just put a double track into here, off the road. And that saves us from having to drive through the yard as well. That should do nicely. Always loved the ground modification mod. Very decent. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. I won't lower it because I haven't set it back down to the original texture, meaning it will actually concrete that area. But there you go, what a transformation. It's amazing what you can do with a few mods. Okay, so the combine harvester, the cultivator and the drill. They are the three different things I'd really like to move. There is the drill, and looking absolutely massive. The cultivator is just here. And the combine harvester is in the shed. Just up here. The 8RT is actually not too bad, despite it being a massive machine. It doesn't really take up much space. It's actually the header trailer more than the combine, amazingly. Just due to its length. There's the chickens, well, the chicken hut. The chickens are actually in the main yard. I should have put it in there, really. But it doesn't really matter. The eggs are still appearing. It's all working as it should do. Right, so the combine can go in here. I really did not need the beacons, but still. It was fun. Let's attempt to move the cultivator. Now, we don't need a very high horsepower tractor for this, just because we're not even going to be using it, we're just going to be moving it. Having said that, this tractor is still fairly high horsepower. Just nothing like the 8RT, which is massive. Hopefully this will fit round here. Yes, just about. Made to measure. And it looks like either the palletizer is stopped because of a backlog of pallets or it's finished. Most likely a backlog of pallets. Now, as this one is fairly manoeuvrable, I put it at the far end. Reverse it into here. I am considering putting a fence or a hedge round here as well, just because it is feeling a little bit like it's been dumped in the middle of a field, which it has, but yeah, trying to just get rid of that feeling a bit. There we go. Drop it off the back, that's fantastic. And secondly, or thirdly, the drill. Okay, so it's all hitched up, and yep, it is definitely on the large side. It's going to have to go out onto the road because it's never going to be able to get around the bend. It probably is a bit big, but even when you're working with it in the big fields, it just feels right. It just feels like the right size to use. Anyway, we've got some eggs to pick up. Beautifully arranged. Very nice. Good chickens. So well behaved. And yeah, I can feel the weight of this drill on the back of the tractor. It's actually pushing the tractor around the corner. I think it's doing a really good job to actually move it, really. Must be really heavy in real life. Right, let's attempt this. If we can actually drive through the barn, that would be useful. But it depends on the width. It might be too wide for one of the bays. And if it is, then yeah, maybe it's just too big. But looking at it, it's going to fit. Just about. Nice. Fantastic. Now we actually have a proper area to store them. Instead of just dumping them over at the cows area, which didn't really look too good. Right, it looks like we need to put some attention onto this over here. I bet it's the pallets. It is. I'll do my trick again then. We'll try and pick up two. Seems to work. Sorry, there's quite a bit of steering wheel sound in this video. I'm doing quite a bit of tight steering. I actually noticed the because we've got the Amazon Easter sale in the UK. You probably have in other countries too. But I noticed that the Logitech G29 is in the sale. And I almost bought it because it's 51% off. But then I thought, you know what? I love the G27. And for something which works so well, in my opinion, why? Why would I upgrade? Because the deal is decent. It really is a decent deal. So the money certainly is not putting me off one bit. It's a very generous deal. It is purely the fact that I'm so happy with the G27, and it's worked in every single one of my videos. Every video I've ever done on Daggerwin has been using the Logitech G27, unless of course it didn't need a steering wheel, or if the game didn't support a steering wheel. But all the farming simulators, all the ETS2s, all been the same G27, and it's worked so well, and it still works so well to this day. So I actually can't part with it now. The only way I'd be able to part with it is if it broke. And well, if you were to put all the hours I've used it for together, it would be a shocking figure. It would be incredible. But really, that just emphasises even more how robust it is, and how much more I don't want to get rid of it. And to be honest, I don't know how good the 29 is, the G29. It might be really good, but I haven't really looked into it, and the only time I did look into it was today, just briefly, just because I saw this deal, and I thought, wow, that is a seriously good deal. But no, even that won't make me change. I am very stubborn, I know, but I like to stick with what I know works. Same with compact tractors, actually, in real life, because as you'll probably know if you've watched my Daggerwin Extra channel, I have several compact tractors for various different reasons, mostly for management, grass management, and I'm fairly fussy. I am fairly fussy when it comes to which machines I use and which machines I buy. I tend to buy new, but even then, I'm still pretty fussy as to what I go for. Now that isn't because I want to be fussy for the sake of it, it's actually because of my experience with a particular brand. For example, Iseki and Massey Ferguson. I've had the 1220, the Massey Ferguson 1220 compact tractor for a while. Obviously the first video of me getting it is still on YouTube. And that machine is something like 23 years old, 24 years old, 25? Not sure. Still going perfectly strong to this day. No issues, no oil leaks, nothing. I have had to do a few repairs on it, but everything I've done has been minor. So that's why I bought the 1525, the new Massey Ferguson Iseki compact tractor, because of my experience with the previous one. And again, I'm super impressed by it. Now I know John Deere's, for example, Kubota's, they're absolutely brilliant as well. But as I haven't owned one of those from new, except for the new John Deere mower which I've got, I can't really say as strongly that they're as good, even though they probably are. It may be even better, just because I haven't had the experience of owning them. But yeah, the Kubota I had, one I restored, it was a nice tractor, but it was so heavily abused through its life that I just couldn't like it. I could not bring myself to like it. Having said that, seeing new Kubotas, I think Kubota is a pretty decent brand. And actually, before owning that compact tractor, I did have some experience on other Kubotas, and I absolutely loved the Kubotas which I had used. The same with John Deere. I have actually used some John Deeres before as well. Never owned a John Deere. Never owned a John Deere compact tractor, but they're good too. I think they have Yanmar engines actually. Certainly my rider mower's got a Yanmar. And yeah, absolute delight to use. Absolutely fantastic. But it is brand new, I suppose, so it's going to be fairly decent. It's when you can compare to an older machine. Anyway, I'm deviating heavily here. I'm started talking about steering wheels, now on to compact tractors and ride-on mowers. It's an old habit of mine. It's always been my my hobby, ride-on mowers and compact tractors and stuff, or anything, any kind of tractors. But I do get the question quite often, are you a farmer? And I can very strongly say no. I'm not a farmer, but a lot of respect to farmers. The last piece is disappearing. It's just waiting. Any second it's going to go. And it seems to have finished there. Maybe it doesn't actually get rid of the last piece. But today we have produced 8 pallets, 362 bags, and I think that is impressive. Especially as it was just the last bit that we had to do. Here is the final pallet. Nicely done. I'll try and grab 2 together again just to speed up the process, and then we'll go over to the sell point and we can make some money. These are a bit further apart by the look of it, although you'd have thought it'd be a fairly standard width. Maybe I've just moved it. There we go. They are both... yeah. Okay, there we go. Done. The pelleting is done for another day. Let's leave. Let's go and see how much money we can make for the final load. Sunset. Still very impressive, even though the FS19 sunset is obviously even more impressive. But that isn't bad. I suppose, yeah, it's the lighting. It is mostly, as far as I can tell, the lighting which is being changed when it comes to the sunset. In fact, even the shadows here aren't too bad. But I suppose they're not fully reflecting the height of the sun. Wow, that was enthusiastic. If you haven't seen the Farming Simulator 19 differences, graphics differences between 17 and 19, then please check out my video. It is there somewhere. It's lurking around in my video library. Anyway, let's just finish things off. It's been a busy day, but it's been a productive day, which is always nice to say. But yeah, hopefully next time we can have some ideas as to what to do in field number 9. I got it right, wow. Yeah, if we can try and do something in there, that'd be fantastic. We'll probably have to get the drill out of there, out of the yard where we've just put it away, since that is going to be the best machine to use. But let's just see here. There we go. Oh, it's going crazy. It's going crazy. We have quite a bit of money. There is one which has got stuck in a very awkward position. Terrible. I've got it totally stuck in there. We're going to have to get the JCB back later. Next time we're here, we'll be able to make some money. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.